Hello, everybody. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to live free of worry. Last time I spoke of learning to recognize when you're in stress and how to move out of that stress. Today, I want to focus on how to stay out of stress and worry. I began this series stating that it's entirely possible to work as much as you want and to do that without draining your energy. The reason we end up losing energy is almost always because we're stressed almost all day, running on adrenaline as a result and depleting our resources. As we get older, this begins to take a serious toll. The way to prevent this drain is to learn to address the stress component. The stress component is often worry over what was possibly missed and correcting it, or worry over not doing a good enough job, or some other worry that literally drives us forward. Wouldn't it be great if what drove us forward was an attraction rather than a fear? Like the impetus to move towards something we truly desire and that fed our spirit. This is entirely possible and indeed a much more desirable and fulfilling way to live if you can get there. The first thing is to recognize and deal with the cause of the feeling of being driven, that underlying fear. I spoke of how to do that in the previous video. Once you recognize and calm that feeling of worry and anxiety, you've given yourself the gift of space, space to make a different choice and take a different action. Here's an example from my own life. Yesterday, I was speaking with a friend who herself was really worried about the state of the world, speaking fast and increasingly negatively about how everything was going to the dogs and we were all headed for disaster. Without negating her fears, because it's possible, I stopped, felt my own increasing anxiety, took a few deep, long breaths, and considered my approach. I talked about what I do with my clients: stabilize, find personal resources, and what they personally need in order to find resources and agency in their lives, rather than feeling at the effect of forces outside their control. I then did that for myself, stabilized, and spoke with my friend about the resources I've gathered and what I'm doing with them, and how I plan on continuing to do them. My friend wasn't convinced, but I had shifted. I myself had shifted from stress to stabilization. In this way, I truly believe I'm helping myself move forward, living my best life, doing what I desire, and helping others do the same. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this series on living life in the present in the way you want to live. If you want more, drop me a line.